there, this is Keyline Pickers. We're online resellers and have been doing this for about 15 years now, and we're hoping to help other people now grow their eBay business. If you're an eBay seller and you're to the point where yard sales are not cutting it as far as sourcing goes, and you're looking to expand to online auctions or go to wholesale warehouses online, then there's some big profits to be made, but there are also some pitfalls that you could potentially fall in if you're not careful. We've made some of these mistakes and hope that perhaps you don't have to, because we did. So without further ado, number one, if you're buying things online and there's no expiration date listed on these items, you need to assume that they're expired. Some things that won't matter if they're expired quite as much, like computer ink. You can sell pretty strong sales on eBay. Even if it's expired, it is going to cut into your profits a little bit over fresh computer ink, but not so much. Other items, you're just going to have to haul them off to the dump. You're going to pay for the item, pay to have it shipped, and then have to pay dumping fees. So look out for expiration dates, and again, assume if it's not listed, it's definitely expired, and keep that in mind, with your offering price. The next thing would be dimensions. Make sure the dimensions of that item are listed. Fluid volume, length with height, that sort of thing. If it's not listed, assume it's teeny tiny, some sort of made in China garbage, and it was made to rip people off. And even if there's pictures, sometimes the hands look like a normal human hand, and you see the item, you think, oh, that's a logically reasonable item to spend my money on, and you get it and it's teeny tiny. I think there's probably people out there who were born with the world's smallest hands, and they've made a profit out of being hand models for online wholesale rip-off artists in their products. But be very careful. If the dimensions aren't listed, then tread lightly there. Number 3, watch out for hidden fees. If you're at an online auction, 100% of the time there's going to be a fee, 20% sometimes higher, sometimes a little lower, and sometimes fees on top of that. I mean, you're paying for fees. If you don't have an online reseller certificate, you're going to be paying taxes, and before you know it, it seems like a good deal, and you're not even making a profit. You might be losing money. So look out for hidden fees. They'll give you pages and pages of fine print to read, hoping you just check the box to say you've read it, so that you can get the good stuff and get that merchandise. But be careful, because some people online especially live there to scam other people. Number 4, check for reviews, not of the product so much, but of the company. I did see one time somebody was buying big shrink wrap bales of vintage clothing and t-shirts, and he opened the shrink wrap bale and he just pulled out one after another of like the greatest t-shirts, old 1970s bands, really cool 80s graphics, some glitter, some ringer shirts, and I was insanely jealous. And I actually went on the website, and I finally went to the reviews 3 pages in and saw that everybody got scammed. They're just rags, basically, and they're shipping you their garbage and you're paying for it. So be very careful, read the reviews, don't believe the first 3 reviews, go deep into those reviews, and you're going to see some honest to goodness customer feedback. Hopefully it's positive. If it is, that's a green light. If not, again, be very careful. And number 5 is not really a tip for just online purchases. It's really anywhere. Never spend more than you can afford to lose. Now, I didn't make that up. I got that from someone else. It was a gem, and I keep it in the back of my mind all the time. If you don't have the ability to, land on your feet after losing whatever that item's going to cost you, or whatever that shipment is going to cost you, don't buy it, even if it seems like a really good deal. I've let things pass me by, and I've lost out on some money before, but I've also probably lost out on getting scammed and losing the shirt off my back. So be very careful about spending more than you can. Doesn't matter how good the deal is. Probably if it's such a good deal that you're willing to risk it all, it's probably too good to be true. So be very careful of those things, and hopefully you can grow your business like we have and beyond. If you like these tips and you want more, or if you'd just like to watch us along our travels in the Florida Keys, see how we source, see what it's like to go to garage sales in the Keys, go ahead and subscribe, because you're going to see some really neat things that you don't see anywhere else. See you next time.